Namaskar. I am Kumar Rakesh and you're watching Global Governance News TV. Today in the news, will Sharad Pawar will finish Shiv Sena in Maharashtra, and what is the impact of the anti-defection law in India? It is effective or not? And NDA presidential candidate Draupadi Murmu files nomination today. So now news in detail. Uh, just here today the happening in the Maharashtra front. I'll tell you. And after that, I'll give you the inputs about Mr. Sharad Pawar, a great politician of the country. And uh, today, new news: the PM and Amit Shah, your minister, is threatening Sharad Pawar. Sena leader Sanjay Raut uh, said on media, and one of the spokesmen also said on TV, Narayan Rane threatening. So anybody can understand if Sharad Pawar is so tall figure, how anybody can threaten. This is really a mockery of the politics and mockery of the statement of the Sanjay Rao. And how just today, Shiv Sena is the National Executive Committee meeting is going tomorrow. Number is not so less with him. So today the new pattern and of the everyday politics is every hour is changing. And as we claimed Eknath Shinde, about 50 MLAs, including independent, are with him. So out of 287, there's a big numbers. The number game is still continues. And Deputy Speaker of Maharashtra Assembly, Narari Jirwal, asserting the appointment of leader of Shiv Sena Legislative Party, but he is called a man of power, and also Shiv Sena, but more power. And Shinde now support of 47 MLAs, including 37 of Sena. That is two-third majority of for the not implying anti-defection law. And CM Uddhav Thackeray has only support of 10 to 12 MLAs now, including his son Adit Thackeray. Today, his son Adit Thackeray addressed the office bearer and also addressed the all workers, and top brass will meet tomorrow 1 p.m. and crowd gathers outside CM residence amid the meeting with the NCP leaders. In evening, Sharad Pawar with Jayant Patil and Ajit Pawar met Uddhav Thackeray, and it is said just to resign, then crisis will be over. But before that, I'll also come in the statement, the last 3-4 statement of Sharad Pawar, how Sharad Pawar is trying to be just destroy and finish the politics of Shiv Sena and Uddhav Thackeray for his own political reasons. And he is a man of trust or not, time will tell you. So now, roller coaster side of political parties in Maharashtra since the last 7 elections. The alliances that fought the election together parted ways right after, giving way to new coalition, but following the rebellion in Shiv Sena now, they state about to enter the new phase. If you say the October 24, 2019, BJP Shiv Sena alliance with assembly polls. October 25, Sena demands CM post for 2.5 years. November 8, 2019, Sena BJP alliance breaks. Devendra Fadnavis resigns as CM. November 23, 29, Madam distant as CM, MBA moves Supreme Court. And November 22, 2019, Mahavikas Aghadi consisting of Sena, Congress and NCP announced. November 12, 19, President rules imposed. November 26, 2019, Supreme Court orders floor test. November 28, 2019, Uddhav Thackeray becomes CM. June 2022, 12 Sena MLAs reportedly crossed vote in favor of BJP in council poll. And June 21, 2022, rebellion begins in Sena under Eknath Shinde leadership. This is chronologically you see how, and just this is only one point, how BJP supported and PM supported to the MLC of the House by Uddhav Thackeray also. And many meetings is going on. But Sanjay Raut is speaking another way. The Shiv Sena leader, Priyanka Chaturvedi from Congress to Shiv Sena, she is now member of parliament, is speaking another way. So how we'll see, and Eknath Shinde just to is in Guwahati and They all report to, according to sources, uh, to move to Goa also, and but they are all paired with the governor. The issues before the constitutional issue, so the blame game is on, and no national party in contact with us. First, he announced Ignas India claiming the powerful national party supporting his group, MLAs, ongoing political ground, Maharashtra. Now say no, any national party contact him. Asked if the BJP is backing him. Since they told a TV channel, when I said a big power is backing us, I mean the power of Balasaheb Thackeray and late Anand Dige is with us. So MLAs may not hear, but party is intact. uh, this is a different type of game. Blame game is on for the politics. Now we can understand how the role of power is very very important. Uh, Role of power is how how the role of power is very important for the politics of Maharashtra. We can understand. So we'll see the political career of Mr. Pawar, how he is 50 years of politics and never defeat, three times chief minister, two times union ministers, and the history. If you see the history of Pawar, this is a different history, and he's a clout and a craftiness. Ensure he is continuing relevance, and this time Mamta Banerjee also proposed for the president post, but he was not interested, as he say, with his own reason and health reason, and he want to be prime minister but not a president. So he can understand the politics of Mamta Banerjee. Mamta Banerjee played a different role. He may be now 81 years old, but looks happy with except some diseases, and the health is not well, according to the doctors close to him, and he's kept both eyes open what may happen 2024 Lok Sabha election. In many ways, he reminds always the man who will be the king. The title of the Rudyard Kipling's novel became a metaphor of man's vaulting ambition, the hunger and push to succeed, to punch above one's weight, and willingness to take audacious risk and work both ways. While drive is necessary to move ahead, there are no guarantees where they may end up. Hence, the man who is the king. As Bharat faces the interesting round of assembly elections in February 2022, all eyes are also on the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. With a deep interest what the opposition may end up doing, it needs a united front. Cross voting should be avoided. Try and turn into the one-to-one fight for the best gains. Above all, Bharat would want to know who best can lead the opposition alliances, and Sharad Pawar is for that. So, in afraid of Mamata Banerjee supported for the president candidate, she was not able. If you say the quote of, I think, Mr. Raj Thackeray said, when Pawar laughs, something will be happen. So, if Sanjay Raut is laughing, when he'll be cornered, he'll not know. So this is a special politics of Sharad Pawar. Sharad Pawar never speak. He is an atheist. He never go for the prayer, never for the puja and everything, because he is afraid Muslim vote he'll lose the Muslim votes. He never took the name of Shivaji, but always take the name of the Shahu, Phule, and Ambedkar. And uh, as Raj Thackeray already claimed and blamed, counter to Sharad Pawar. So uh, now Ignas Sindhi is for playing in politics for the Hindus. So as he claims, he does not in the power race, don't want to be CM, but he want Hinduism should be re-established in Maharashtra, but not with NCP and Congress. And this is the politics of NCP. You see the statement, last 4 day statement, you can understand the politics of Sharad Pawar. This is an internal matter of Shiv Sena. He was keeping mum. Another, we are with Shiv Sena. What do you do with Sena? If number is not there, number 2. Number 3, okay, we'll see the what happening. Where we can manage the house. Number 4, the floor test will decide what will be done. And number 5, see the statement. I'm trying to analyze the statement. And MBA Mahavikas Agadi will win all the show. Now today evening, how he making a statement, if number is not with you, so Sarat Uddhav Thackeray, you may resign. What is meaning of this? Any sensitive politician can read between the line. How he uh, uh, just done the situation, position, condition of Shiv Sena at present now. The big party, the party of Balasaheb Thackeray, the party of the chosen, but for the power, only due to the lust for power of Uddhav Thackeray and his son, the Shiv Sena has become this position now. They are not trying to understand the very minute and very incisive and very intuitive politics of Sharad Pawar. How Sharad Pawar is so sharp in his politics. 50 years of politics, three times CM, sometimes with Rajiv, sometimes not, sometimes Sonia Gandhi, then separated, sometimes with Narasimha Rao, sometimes not. When Rajiv Gandhi was killed, then he also raised of the prime minister with the N.D. Tiwari and Narasimha Rao. After that, Narasimha Rao accommodated him as the power as the defense minister. So how is a cunning? This is a different type of politics. So just he never advocate for the actually for Ajit Pawar, but not advocate for the Nawab Malik and Anil Deshmukh. Just you see, two ministers are in the jail right, of his party. So try to understand how he wants to just the NCP to contest UP, Goa, Manipur national party status, but this is how a crisis is going on. So I think he never believed in the Hinduism theory, and had been many. Uh, Pawar may recall how his former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh were against politics of vendetta and were cabinet colleagues, and UPA government favor of against Modi by chief minister. But how he managed the Padma Vibhushan, the highest second award of the India, Bharat, Padma Vibhushan. Modi government just conferred him. This is also politics of Sharad Pawar. If you see, this is a very interesting politics of Sharad Pawar. We can understand how he just managed, how he has go, how like that. So this is the political career of Sharad Pawar. We see in coming days, it will be the big jolt to the Shiv Sena in coming days at because Shiv Sena has just snatched his all power from the Konkan area where the sometimes NCP was powerful. So this is the reality of Sharad Pawar. Very long to say. And now today, what will happen in Maharashtra, we'll all see. So time of break. After break, we'll discuss the more story and about the presidential candidate Draupadi Murmu. Welcome after break. We were discussing about the Pawar politics, Shiv Sena in Maharashtra. In Maharashtra, is the crisis is happening now. I think, but according to whatever the political party, the BJP, whatever said and now U-turn to the way turn by the Mr. Eknath Shinde. So big power of the Balasaheb Thackeray and Anand Dighe, the great leader of Shiv Sena. This is also matter of concern. So how is going on? But are we talking the anti-defection laws? How the anti-defection law is implied and how the effective or effective or not. If you see the defection of legislature across the many democracies, it can argue that they can undermine the stability of government, which is dependent in support of majority parties on elected legislature on the coalition of the elected to represent other parties. The argument follows that such instability can amount to a betrayal of the people's mandate, as voiced in the most recent prior election. Prior the induction of anti-defection law, both central government of India and the government of some states and territories had experienced instances of perceived instability resulting from elected legislature changing their political allegiance. By one estimate, about 50% of the 4,000 legislature elected to central and federal parliaments in 1967 and 71 general elections subsequently defected, leading to political turmoil in the country. So in 85, the, the 10th schedule of the 52nd Amendment as law sought to limit such frequent defections in Bharat in 1985. The 10th schedule of the 52nd Amendment of Constitution of India was passed by the Parliament of India. Achieved this, and the sub recommendation of the after that passed that 91st Amendment 2003, some amendment also. They are strengthened by the Act by adding provision for disqualification of defectors and banning them from being appointed minister for the period of time. So, election in democratic country allowed to assert their desire. Political defections occurring between elections undermine that assertive act, and thus the expressed will be the people. Defections were common in India even prior to country's independence, beginning around 1960s. So that time was the Iram, Gairam, Ram has come, Ram has gone, like that. And in extreme example occurred 1967 when the legislator Gaya Lal changed his allegiance 3 times in a single day, one day, and gave rise to infamous expression Ayaram and Gayaram. That time, after that, this proverb was popular. Between 1957 to 67, Congress party emerged the sole beneficiary of the defections. So you can say the mother of the defection is the Congress party. And also Sharad Pawar was in the Congress, and now he is nationalist Congress. So we can understand the politics of the Sharad Pawar also. And it lost 98 of its registration but gained 419 between 10 years. After that, in the fourth Lok Sabha, tackled the scourge of political defection. 67, a committee was formed, chairmanship Y.V. Chauhan. The committee submitted report in 68, which led to first attempt to submit anti-defection bill in Parliament. Although opposition was supportive of the bill, the government, led by Indira Gandhi, referred it for consultation as Joint Select Committee. So it did not emerge from the committee before all the legislative proposals were voided by the subsequent election. 779 was the crucial period of Indian politics when the first ever national non-Congress government, led by Morarji Desai, was driven out by power due to defection of 76 parliamentarians. This caused political uncertainty until 1979, when Gandhi was elected by a clear majority. There was a definite trend of the political landscape for India during the 1780s. Whenever there was a Congress-led government at the center, the regional government failed due to defection of non-Congress elected representatives. The Chief Minister of Karnataka, Virendra Patil, called the trend the gold rush. Then corruption was a global phenomenon. Gandhi saw the disruptive politics of defection become rampant of India. After that, the primary intention of the law, the political corruption, which was necessary first step to addressing other forms of corruption in the country. According to Central Vigilance Commissioner U.C. Agrawal, a political arena has to be corruption-free to motivate other lower levels to free themselves from corruption. To strengthen democracy by bringing stability to politics, ensuring legislative programs of the government are not jeopardized by the defecting parliamentarians, to make members of parliament more responsible and loyal to the parties with whom they are aligned at the time of their election. Many believe the party allegiance plays a key role in the election process. Then Chauhan Committee suggested member who changes party allegiance for the monetary benefit or other forms of greed, such a promise of executive office should not only be removed from parliament but also barred from the contesting election for a special time. After that, the interpretation, the 10th schedule comprises 8 paragraphs. That's the paragraph interpretation, disqualification of grounds of defection, disqualification grounds of defection not to apply in the case of merger, and the injunction, the chairman, person is free from that. Decision or question to disqualification on the ground of defection, bar or jurisdiction of courts, and whatever the rules. And the speaker rules is the main in that no evidence that law did not fulfill the purpose of bringing a halt to the political defection, and the fact legitimized mass defection by exempting from its provision act becomes splits. So, in 1990, Chandrasekhar and 61 other parliament did not receive penalties when they simultaneously changed allegiance. the Speaker of Lok Sabha did not allow the defective members, the breakaway faction of Janata Dal, to explain their point of view. So after the amendment was done 2003, due to frequent defections, proposed 10 schedule in 2003, committee headed by the Pranab Mukherjee proposed a Constitution 19 First Amendment Bill, noting the exception provided by following a split granted in paragraph 3 of the schedule was being grossly exploited, causing multiple divisions in the various political parties. Further, the committee observed the lure of personal gain played a significant aspect in defections and resulted in political horse trading. The bill was passed one day by Lok Sabha on 16th of December 2003. They similarly passed by the Rajya Sabha on 18th December. Presidential consent was obtained on January 2004 and by the Constitution 91st Amendment 2003 was notified by Gazette of India on 2nd January 2004. The amended act maintained that the member disqualified due to defections should not hold any ministerial post or any other remunerative political post in their term of office as the member expired. And the 2003 amended act excluded the provision of 10th schedule for authorizing the defection arising out of the splits. The amended act also stipulated the number of ministers in states and union territories should not exceed 15% of total number of members in the respective house, and two and a half. So this is all the recommended format, and this is all the discussion. So in this case of Maharashtra, I think anti-defection law will be not applied on the good group of Eknath Shinde until he merged with the another party, whatever party is there. Number one, number two, and that may claim the separate group of the party, say they can fight for the Shiv Sena symbol and Shiv Sena leadership and all, as they Eknath Shinde has written later as a leader of the Shiv Sena legislative party to the speaker and to deputy speaker. So we can understand the situation in constitutional situation in Maharashtra. It seems to be in favor of Eknath Shinde, not Uddhav Thackeray. So today, Sharad Pawar advised him just for the resignation. And now we'll see what will happen tomorrow. Now, news from the President Murmu, Draupadi Murmu ji. Today, she filed a nomination, and before filing, he dialed Sonia Gandhi and Mamata Banerjee and Pawar for support for the presidency. This is the cordial and this is the formal request, and he should as he did. And the president of Bharat election is July 18. Nomination paper in presence of Prime Minister Narendra Bhai Modi and host of the union ministers and BJP MPs and chief ministers. Today, PM Modi ji was first proposer with 100 proposals with senior minister Rajnath Singh, Amit Shah, BJP president Nitin Gadkari, JP Nadda and other signatories on the nomination papers. Pratibha Maumik, State Minister also, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, Sairaj Singh Chauhan, Manohar Lal Khattar, B.S. Bomai, Bhupendra Patel, Hemant Biswa Sharma, Pushkar Singh Dhami, Pramod Samant, and Viren Singh also graced the event. If elected, I think not, I am saying highest post will be the first tribal president and second nominee the post. After filing the nomination paper, NDA president nominee called up Congress President Sonia Gandhi, NCP Sharad Pawar, and West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, and sought their support for candidature. Before the filing and nomination paper, NDA's president nominee arrived at the parliament and paid tribute to the statue of Mahatma Gandhi, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, and Birsa Munda at the parliament. She searched the national capital from Odisha on Thursday and met Prime Minister Narendra Bhai Modi, Union Minister Amit Shah, Rajnath Singh, and BJP President JP Nadda. Besides, NDA partners, including Nitish Kumar, Janata Dal Unite U, Odisha Chief Minister and BJP President Navin Patnaik, YSR Congress led by Jagan Mohan Reddy also announced his support to the candidature of Murmu. And very interesting and so important, Jharkhand Mukti Morcha, which is running a coalition government with Congress Jharkhand, also expected support by digital NDA nominee post of President of India, as conveyed to the Draupadi Murmu ji. And NDA President Gazette Murmu has sought cooperation from everyone for upcoming election and will kick start a campaign from June 25th to seek support from all political parties to help her be elected as the first person of the country. In a tweet, PM Modi on Thursday said, met Draupadi Murmuji. Her presidential nomination has been appreciated across India by all sections of society. Her understanding of grassroots problem and vision for India's development outstanding. Opposition also fielded former Union Minister Yashwant Sinha against Murmu. Sinha will filing nomination papers on June 27. And senior Congress leader Jairam Ramesh had announced Sinha's candidature on June 21st on behalf of opposition party. So this is the latest on that, and we'll see how it will be go happen, and how BJP will benefit from this his candidature. And many comments are going on. We'll come with the more details. So this is the news for the today, and we'll meet for the next news. I will seek support for you, and just share, subscribe, and just promote Global Governance News. Thank you very much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.